Well,
Yes, you are audible and your screen is visible.
thanks, sir. The topic of today's our discussion is opportunities of speed breeding for the improvement of fruit crops. Actually, before going into the detail, I would like to discuss. Uh, you are from any of the department, means you are from the horticulture or from the agronomy, plant protection, plant breeding, tissue culture, or you are from the seed science, biotechnology, even from the biotechnology. You can get different messages from the today's talk as it deals with the improving the reducing the crop cycle. So you can get many messages from the today's talk, and hope at the time of question and answer you will have a lot of questions, and I will try to answer your questions accordingly. First of all, I would like to say that the tree breeding is actually a challenging task. Why? Actually, normally the tree plants, they have a long juvenile phase. Juvenile phase से क्या बताते हैं? अगर हम एक पौधे का सीड सो करते हैं, सो करने से उसकी जो कंप्लीट मैच्योरिटी का टाइम है कि वो अब नया फ्रूट बना ले, इसे हम जोविनल फेज कहते हैं। और नॉर्मली जो ट्रीज हैं उनके अंदर जो फ्रूट ट्रीज हैं, ये जोविनल टाइम बहुत ज़्यादा होता है। और जब भी आप क्रॉप ब्रीडिंग के साथ डील करते हैं या प्लांट ब्रीडिंग के साथ डील करते हैं, या आपका ताल्लुक ये है कि आपने एक से दूसरी जनरेशन लेनी है, चाहे आप ब्रीडिंग के प्रोसीजर में नहीं भी हैं, आप हॉर्टिकल्चर से हैं या आप कोई एग्रोनॉमी से हैं, और आपका टास्क है कि यू हैव टू गेट from one generation to another generation. If you are dealing with fruit tree plants, the main challenge you will face is the juvenile phase. When you sow the seed and you are waiting for the next seed to grow on the plant, it will take a lot of time. For example, in case of a peach, it takes 3 to 4 years from seed to seed. And in case of the avocado, you will see it takes 15 years from seed to seed, so that it takes a lot of. And if you are dealing with the breeding procedure, or you are actually dealing to get a lot of generation for your experiments, so you can see here in this example, suppose if in case of the plant breeding you have crossed the two plants, and after crossing you get a seed, then you sow the seed, and if it is a peach plant, then the sowing to again getting a next fruit, it will take 3 to 4 years. And if your task is to proceed for several generations, 5 to 6 generations, then you can imagine it will take up to 18 to 24 years to complete the 6th generation, and this is a lot of time. And in case of, for example, in case of the avocado, this is another plant, and its juvenile phase is 15 years. Means अगर आपने avocado को plant लगाया और आपने उसका सीड सो किया, तो सीड सो करने के बाद जो नेक्स्ट सीड आपको मिलेगा पौधे में से, इट विल टेक्स ऑलमोस्ट 15 years. And this is a lot of time. And talking about the breeding of such crop, a lot of time, then it is a real troubling. Means अगर आप एवोकाडो प्लांट के ऊपर ब्रीडिंग का प्रोसीजर कर रहे हैं, तो मेरा नहीं ख्याल कि एक बंदा अपनी लाइफ के दौरान इसकी ब्रीडिंग का प्रोसीजर नॉर्मल जो कन्वेंशनल ब्रीडिंग है उसको लेके कंप्लीट कर सके। क्योंकि अगर हमने 6 जनरेशन लेनी है, तो तकरीबन अगर ये 16 साल इसकी नॉर्मल जोइनल फेज का टाइम है, तो जो ब्रीडिंग साइकिल के अंदर क्रॉस के बाद पॉपुलेशन को प्योर करना होता है, तकरीबन F6 पॉपुलेशन तक हम जाते हैं, तो इट विल टेक्स ऑलमोस्ट 90 years, और ये मोर देन लाइफ स्पैन ऑफ अ रिसर्चर। तो ये जोविनल फेज, जब हम ट्री ब्रीडिंग की बात करते हैं, तो ये सबसे बड़ी हर्डल है कि आप सक्सेसफुली अपने ट्री ब्रीडिंग्स को कंप्लीट कर सकें। और दूसरा, जब भी आप ट्री ब्रीडिंग के काम करते हैं, तो उसमें आपको लार्ज एरिया चाहिए, टेस्टिंग इन्वायरमेंट चाहिए, जहाँ पर आप अपने पौधों को लगा के उनको इवेल्युएट कर सकें। तो दीज आर द मेन चैलेंजेस which normally a tree breeder or a fruit breeder faces when he is dealing with the hybridization and further the segregation population of the fruit trees. There are several strategies. The different researchers are dealing with different strategies to speed up the breeding cycle of the fruit tree plants, as we have already seen that they have a long juvenile phase. So several scientists from the crop physiology section, from the tissue culture section, as well as the biotechnologists, they are dealing several approaches to speed up the breeding cycle of the fruit trees. like some people are actually working on the prolonged photoperiod phase. When you expose the plant on a constant light conditions, they start early flowering. Similarly, if you expose your plant under stresses like drought stress, the plant starts flowering earlier as compared to its normal flowering phase. Similarly, the biotechnologies, they are using virus vectors. They are inducing different early flowering genes in plants to induce early flowering in fruit trees. Similarly, the exposure of plant to the higher concentration of carbon dioxide, it also helps to induce the early flowering in plants. On other ways, the double haplite as well as the breaking the seed dormancy, protoplast fusion, embryo rescue, all these different techniques are being used by different scientists to induce early flowering in fruit trees and as well as the other crops, so that they can speed up the breeding cycle and they produce different cultivars of the fruits, which normally takes a lot of time through the conventional breeding process. Mainly our today's talk, the main focus is the using of different lights and then exposing the plants and exposing the plant under constant light conditions, and then the exposing the plant under the constant light condition, it will help the plants to start early flowering. Here you can see this is a glasshouse condition where the lights, these are the lights with a specific specific wavelengths. These lights are provided to the plants for inducing early flowering in these plants. So our main focus is today's talk is the exposing the plants to different light, and we will see which type of light is required, how we can manage this light, is it feasible or economical for us to proceed this breeding procedure at our institute level or our university level, and we will talk about several conditions and several case studies that different people are using to get successful fruiting, early fruiting in trees. Have a look on the comparison of the traditional breeding cycle and the speed breeding cycle. This is an example of a peach plant which normally 3 to 4 years for its germinal phase. Means it takes 3 to 4 years from the sowing of the seed till the production of next seed. It takes 3 to 4 years. In a traditional breeding method, when you cross a plant, then you produce this F1 population, then produce F2 population. Here in F2 population, you select your desired plants and then you make them homogeneous till the F6 population. Okay, these are the different population you have to collect during your conventional breeding process if you are working with the conventional breeding to get your required genotype. And in case of the peaches, it takes 18 to 24 years from the crossing till the harvest of your required genotypes. Okay, this is a long process. Well, comparison of this same peach plant when it is exposed under the breeding process under the lights of the UV lights, or you can say the UV not under the LED lights, then the breeding cycle it reduces. And how much it reduces? The same process through conventional breeding is being completed in 18 to 24 years. Here you can complete it in just 7 years. So you can here see the importance of speed breeding, or the importance of using the lights to induce the early flowering in plants. It saves a lot of your time. And most importantly, if you see at the example of the avocado plant, till the harvest of F6 population, here in case of the peaches, you will get the F6 population in 18 to 24 years. Well, in case of the avocado, you will get the F6 population in 90 years. So it is a lot of time. Here, you must need the speed breeding process if you really want to develop some new varieties in case of the avocado. There are several fruit plants where you can apply the speed breeding process to reduce their breeding cycle. Well, the speed breeding process, this is not a new approach. It is working from last 150 years. Before 150 years, scientists have experienced that when they expose the plants under a constant light, the plants start early flowering. This is an observation of the scientists before 150 years. Then at the time of 1980, this collaboration of the NASA scientists and the US, United States University, they have collaborated to develop some wheat lines in the space with the help of NASA, and at the space they expose the plant under constant light, and then they get early generations of the wheat. And this is another step toward the speed breeding. Then in the time of 19, the scientists, they have studied the effect of LED lights, how the LED lights are helping the plant to grow fast. Similarly, in 2000, the terminology speed breeding was coined. Here in speed breeding, the scientists have started working on the LED lights. They have started optimizing the light quality, light intensity, light length, means the duration of the light, and the temperature as well as the humidity. They have tested several conditions to optimize these conditions for the different plants so that they can produce early flowerings. Similarly, in 2010, a cultivar of spring wheat was developed through the speed breeding process, and all the procedure of speed breeding was applied and the cultivar was developed. And after the 2010 till now, there are several cultivars have been released for the general cultivation through this speed breeding. Well, the speed breeding is not limited only for the crops or just for the few plants. It can be done for any crop, any species, any plant, any trees. You have to only focus on these conditions: the light quality, photo period, light intensity, temperature, and humidity. If you can optimize this environment of a plant, then you can speed breed any species. Different species or different plants will have different, will require these different environment. Just you have to focus and optimize this environment. By optimizing this environment, you can speed breed any plant. Mainly, if one by one I talk about these environmental conditions, mainly the plant require a spectrum of light. In that spectrum, the blue light and the red light, these are the main important lights. The blue light is helpful for the normal growth of a plant, like for the we can say that the vegetative growth. This blue light is very important for the vegetative growth, while this red light is important for the flowering induction. So a combination of the blue and red light is required for inducing the early flowering. So you have to focus and you have to optimize how much red light you have to give and how much blue light you have to give. By adjusting these two lights, you can expose different plants or you can induce different plants to start early flowering. Similarly, you have to also focus on the type or the nature of the plant, if it is a short day plant, day neutral plant, or a long day plant. Let's have a look on this graph. Here on the x-axis, this is the photo period, means the photo period increasing from 12, 14, 16, 18, 24, 22, and 24 hours, 14, 24 hours. Similarly, on the y-axis, the days of flowering, you can say that days of flowering is increasing from 0 to onward. Let's have a look on this green line, which is for the long day plants. If a long day plant, you have a long day plant and you increase the photo period, here you can say that increasing the photo period, it reducing the days to flowering. So a 22 hours of the light is an optimum time where you can induce early flowering in long day plants. Similarly, in case of the short day plant, if I talk about, then you can say if we increase the photo period, increasing the photo period is also increasing day to flowering. So in this case, the 12 hour of the light is enough to induce early flowering in short day plants. Similarly, in day neutral plant, the 12 hours light is good enough to induce early flowering. So it is the optimization of the light time, that how much time you have to expose your plant under the light, and the light quality, which type of light you have to provide, you are going to provide to the plants. And optimizing these light conditions, the wavelength of the light and the time of the light is not a big deal. Now there are different lights or companies are available. These companies provide different lights, and the lights, and these lights produce different spectra of the wavelength. You can adjust the wavelengths according to your plant. So with the help of just this one light, you can optimize several plants for their speed breeding process. Next, if we talk about the cost of the speed breeding, this is not a very, actually it is a, you can say, expensive process, but it's not only that you cannot reduce the price of this breeding process. It's not like that you cannot reduce the price. Actually, if you have just one growth chamber, you can install the lights and you can grow your plants just in one growth chamber. So for the small experiments, this speed breeding process is possible even for if you are working on the 3 to 4 plants or 5 plants in a small cabin. You can install the lights and control the temperature condition, and then you can start your speed breeding process. Even under the roof conditions, if you have a room, you can install your speed breeding facilities in a glass house. Even in a capsule, the container is there. On the top of the container, there are the, you can say, the solar system is there. And by using the light of the solar, electricity of the solar system, you can make your own speed breeding facility in just a capsule of the container. So the speed breeding facilities, you can adjust it or according to your budget. It's not a big deal. It's not like that you have to need millions of the rupees to start up this process. Yes, you can start with a short budget you have. Similarly, let's have a look on the different examples. The people are working on the speeding process by using the different fruit trees. Here is a team at the USA. They are working on the chestnut, and the chestnut, in chestnut case, they normally, when you sow the seed, from the sowing till the harvest of the new seed, means the plant, it completes this complete life cycle from the sowing till maturity, till production of the flower. It takes 3 to 4 years. By using the speed breeding facility, by exploiting the lights and temperature condition and humidity, the scientists, they have successfully achieved the flowering in chestnut in just 9 months. Under normal conditions, you can see it takes 3 to 4 years, and in speed breeding facility, it is providing flowering just in a time of 9 months. So this speed breeding facility can help you to achieve your targets in a short time, which is otherwise require a lot of time, even the time more than the lifespan of a researcher. Well, if you don't have a facility of the growth chamber or a greenhouse or anything like a confined area, even in the field condition, the scientists at Vietnam, they have successfully induced flowering in cassava. Okay, they have just installed the lights with the help of a pillar on the cassava plant, and they successfully harvested. You can see here 1, 2, 3, and 4 flowering season in just 1 year on a one plant with the help of these lights. And these lights have been just installed with the help of a pole on these cassava fruits. Moreover, in the speed breeding facility, by using the light, we are actually speeding up the process of the flower induction in plants, as well as we are increasing the life, you can say the time duration. You are actually shortening the time duration from the sowing till the harvest of the new fruit on a plant. So in addition to reducing the growth cycle of the plant, the time of growth cycle of the plant, you can add modern techniques in the speed breeding process, like CRISPR-Cas technology, like marker resistant selection, as well as the phenomics, transgenic development, other, you can say, the rapid generation cycles, as well as the double haploid techniques. All these techniques, they can be integrated in the speed breeding process, and they will pre-size speed breeding activity, and that it will help to gain your result in a precise way with a very short time, in a very short time duration. And thank you very much. This is all for our today's talk. And the main message for our student and faculty member is that on whichsoever crop we are working and whatsoever our field of research is, if we are dealing with the generation of time, the generation of the crops, we can use the speed breeding facility to shorten the crop duration, the crop life cycle, and gain our result with a short period of time. Thank you very much. If you have any question, your question are welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Abubakar, for your presentation on speed breeding. So now the floor is open for question answer session. If someone want to ask question, just click on the raise hand option. Okay. You can also use the chat box option to write your question. Yes, Dr. Faisal, you can unmute your mic and you can ask question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. And thanks, Dr. Abubakar Saab, for a wonderful presentation. Just for my understanding, what would be the cost or benefit ratio? Like, I mean, how much we need to invest and how much we will get out of it? Is there any idea?
Yes, Dr. Faisal, actually it depends on the facility, how much you want to extend your facility. If you are just focusing on few plants and using just one light, the one light price of one light is just in 4 to 5 lakhs, and it depends upon further the cost can be reduced if you purchase the light from China manufacturing companies. And so the actual cost benefit ratio, if you are talking about the large scale crop, sorry, I don't know. But in case of the just few plants you are dealing in your lab, then with the help of just 3 to 4 lakhs, you can start your speed breeding facility and reduce the crop cycle of your plants. You can, if you are working on the weeds, you can just get 6 generations within one cycle, 1 year, and you can complete the development of your main breeding lines in very short time. There you can move towards the variety process, and I think the benefits are much more than the cost.
Right. Just like, for example, if running cost, I'm talking about the electricity, the environment. Specifically, if we're talking about Multan temperature is pretty high, right? And we are mainly working on the same crops around us.
Yes.
So, do you see, like, I mean, creating another environment within an environment that makes sense, or
Yeah,
you think
okay.
it's
No, it's okay. If your focus is on you are talking about the Multan environment, and if we have a confined area, just a room, and it has an AC. Normally, every lab has an cooling system like the AC. Then it's not a very expensive thing. You can control the temperature in a room, and you can install a light within a room. It's not a big deal. Yeah, if you are talking about the greenhouse facility, and if we replicate or we do the same process under the greenhouse condition, then there the problem of the temperature is there. You cannot meet your target just with the help of one AC. Then your expenses will be increased. But under the room condition, it's not a big deal.
Thank you, Dr. Bosch.
Thank you. And I think the biggest benefit of this facility would be the time saving. And some people say that nowadays time is money. So if we are able to save the time, it means we are gaining benefit from this technique? Okay. Okay. Any student who want to ask question related to speed breeding? Okay, I guess there are no questions from the audience side. So at the end, thank you, Dr. Bubakar Siddiq, for your time, and we will continue this activity in future.
Thank you very much, sir. बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.